So I am pleased to be here today talking to Dr. Larry Robinson. I am Dr. Tia Tyree out of Howard University, the lead university with NCAS-M. Um, Dr. Larry Robinson, how are you today?
Doing wonderful,
Good,
just
good,
wonderful.
good. I'm glad you could join us. We are celebrating NOAA's EPP program's 25th anniversary. We're calling it the EPP Jubilee, hashtag EP Jubilee 25. We have
Mhm.
social media. We're going to celebrate at the biennial meeting. And part of what we want to do is reach out to some of the folks who have been very pivotal in the program over the last 25 years. We're calling them the Trailblazers, and you fit right in there. So I just want to just make sure everyone knows who I'm with today. Could you tell me your name, center affiliation, and how long you've been connected with NOAA's EPP program?
Yeah, hello, Dr. Tyree and everyone. My name is Larry Robinson. I currently serve as the Principal Investigator for NOAA Center for Coastal Marine Ecosystems 2. There was a previous version of this before this 5-year cooperative agreement. I currently serve as a distinguished professor at Florida A&M University. And with regard to this program, I go back to the very beginning, which are longer than 25 years. Right? A group of HBCU presidents met with the NOAA Administrator Baker to talk about how we could unleash that tremendous amount of talent on these institutions to help NOAA in its workforce needs. So I've been there from the beginning. The first meeting was at the U.S. Department of Commerce. I think it was December the 17th, 1997.
You know the day. That's how you
Yeah.
know this is an important program when you remember the actual day. So tell me,
Mhm.
we have four cooperative science centers. You're in CCME2. Can you tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about your center and what makes it an important part of the program?
Well, first of all, this center addresses a range of issues that are vitally important to NOAA and citizens around the regions that we serve. We talk about coastal and marine ecosystems, as well as the people who live and depend upon these systems for their livelihoods. Our program extends from Florida, Mississippi, Texas, and all the way actually to one of our partners in California. All of us are working on similar issues because of the relationships among our faculty that deal with issues of concern to these communities. One primary, I think, outcome of this 25-year effort has been the focus on talent. We have produced untold numbers of students who have gone on to do great things at NOAA and the NOAA workforce at large. It's really been incredible to think about the impacts that they have made for NOAA and for the nation and the communities from which many of them came.
Yes, and I think that leads me to my next question. Many programs, nonprofit, governmental, for-profit, don't make it to the 25-year mark.
Right.
And this program yet has been a tremendous asset, I think, not only to the universities in which the CSCs are actually located, but
Mhm.
US citizens at large. Can you walk me through a little bit about how you might see some of the research or some of the impact your center has directly made on the United States?
Yeah, so first of all, I believe this program was conceived in a way that made it a little bit different from some other quote programs out of DC, in that it was in partnership with these institutions who knew a lot about the areas in which these programs would eventually be established. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is that we wanted to make sure that all of the things that we did are regularly assessed to make sure we don't lose our relevancy at NOAA and within the communities that we serve. I think thing number three is that there are a lot of good ways to get research done, but what this program did differently than most is that it requires at least 50% of the funding go to direct student support to ensure that we're creating that next generation of neuroscientists and policymakers. And all of those things combined, I think, has made for a wonderful program that we will celebrate in New York in just a month or so.
So part of this is reflecting and appreciating our various journeys. I've been 3 cycles now on the grant with NCAS-M. So not as long as you. You make me feel like a little baby in the program, but it's been so many wonderful moments that I think about. And I want to know if you would just share with everyone, and I know it's probably difficult because you've been here since its inception. Is there one moment that you want to share that says, this is why this program matters. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, so there are several of those, but I'll just give two and I'll be selfish. First of all, my first PhD student at Florida A&M University, in what is now the School of the Environment, was a fellow in this program. Her name was Dr. Latoya Miles. She is now the director of NOAA's atmospheric turbulence laboratory. And of all places, my professional career started in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Dr. Miles is doing research on atmospheric contaminants and the impact on people and coastal ecosystems. That's a major, I think, achievement for not just for her, but for the people around the country. Another student of mine, Dr. Dennis Appetit, you probably remember, you're young enough to remember the oil spill in 2010, right? And one of the things that was critical in that process for NOAA and the work that it does is to assess the impact of the oil on those ecosystems throughout the Gulf at that particular time. And one of my students is Dr. Dennis Appetit, actually, is responsible for that program now, right? The status and trends, or sometimes it's called Muscle Watch, where they analyze, bivalves, oysters, and so forth throughout the country for contaminants of various types. So those two people, at the very least, have made some tremendous contributions to NOAA and to the nation through the research that they do.
Well, I thank you for sharing not one, but two memories. And I think it's always important as, a researcher to bring mentorship in, because there's so many, I guess, cliches that we say, but each one reach one, making sure that we're reaching back, especially at HBCU. So it's wonderful to see that your tentacles in CCME probably, and then CCME2 are still out there, making an impact in the United States. So I thank you so much, Dr. Robinson, for sharing just a few moments with me as we celebrate all that is happening this summer with the EPP Jubilee. You've been a true trailblazer. At the moment of inception, you were at the program. So I thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in July.
Thank you. I'll certainly see you in New York.